welcome to the series of lectures on Java interview preparation on the basics of Java. In this lecture series, I will try to cover all the concepts which are currently being asked in the industry for interviews, and I will try to be thorough with those concepts so that at the end of this lecture series, you guys feel confident about clearing your Java tech interviews. So let us begin with the lecture series. This is the first video tutorial of this part of the lecture. The first concept that I want to touch is that Java is a platform independent language. This is a very basic concept of Java, that by platform independent what we all mean is that you can write your code in Java at any place and your code will run at any place. That is, you have to write the code once and you can run that code at any place. By any place, what I mean is that even if you write your Java code in a Linux machine, your code will run at Windows machine, a Linux machine and a Mac machine. Similarly, if you write your code in a Windows machine, your code will run as Linux machine, Windows machine and Mac machine. So Java is a platform independent language. If someone asks, you can always say it confidently that it is write once and run anywhere type of a programming language. JRE and JVM. Now these two are very important parts of a Java ecosystem, and generally people tend to confuse between the differences of the JRE and JVM. So JRE is Java runtime environment. For any Java code to run on a system, JRE needs to be present in that system. JRE is like the initiator of your Java program. JRE, whenever you create a jar and you try to run that jar using java-jar, but the main job of JRE there is to initiate a process of JVM. JVM is Java Virtual Machine. So JVM's process is always initiated by the JRE. Inside JVM, your Java code runs. JVM is basically the environment inside which your Java code runs. In the next lectures, I will explain that why JVM is so important and how JVM plays its parts in the Java being a platform independent language. Because of JVM, Java is a platform independent language. How is it so? I will explain in the next lectures. So let us go through that what happens when you compile your code. When you compile your code, the class loader subsystem reads the .class file and loads the corresponding bytecode in the method area of JVM. So method area of JVM, we will study about the different areas of the memory of the JVM, and I will explain in details that what is the method area of JVM and which is the exact use case of this method area of JVM. But for now, you should understand that whenever your code is compiled, the class loader subsystem, whenever you write Java C and give the Java class to compile the code, a .class file is generated, and after that the class loader subsystem is responsible to read that .class file and it loads the corresponding bytecode in the method area of JVM. We all know that the computers can only read from bytecodes. Now in the class loader subsystem there are three parts: the loading part, the linking part and the initialization part. In the loading part, what happens is we load the code from the .class files we convert the code from .class file to the bytecode, and it gets loaded to the method area of JVM. In the linking part, the basic validation of your code happens, that whether the code that you have written is correct or not, the static variables that you have initialized, whether they are correct or not. In the initialization part, the variables and the static class members that you have decided, they get value in the memory. That is, all the class members that you have declared inside your code, they also get initialized when the JVM gets started. So the class loader subsystem takes care of these things, that the variables in the static variables and the class variables which are being defined inside your Java code gets initialized properly. So in this lecture, what we have learned is, we have learned the difference between the JRE and JVM. We have learned about how Java is a platform independent language, and we will be studying about it in details in a separate lecture. We also studied that what is the important systems which actually work in background to make your Java code work. Here we learned about class loader subsystem, that it is the most important part which actually takes the .java file, converts it into .class file, takes it and converts the bytecode and then loads that bytecode into the JVM method area of memory. Then it actually checks and validates the codes, and then it initializes all the class variables and the static members which are being declared inside your Java code. Thank you.